Hello and welcome. In this video, you're going to learn how to build a business that grows completely on its own, and most importantly, escape lift-off purgatory. If you've ever struggled with false starts, inconsistent progress, and just kind of like this inner turmoil and second guessing, if you can really do this and you can really build a freedom business, you're going to love this. You're going to learn how to finally create momentum, how to build a platform that actually grows on its own without you having to be there. And I think that's what we all want. We want a business that takes on a life of its own and starts to expand without our personal efforts. So if you stick through this and stay until the end of this video and implement what you learn, I guarantee you're going to start seeing momentum in your business, your spirits are going to be transformed, and you're going to be much better off because of it. So let's talk about the biggest problems entrepreneurs face. Those two problems are lack of consistency, so not consistently doing the things that matter, right? You're bouncing back and forth from one thing to another, or you're doing a lot of things for a short period of time, then you stop and you start over. Or a lack of focus, right? So you're doing things consistently, but you're not focused on the things that matter. So to say it another way, the main problem is a lack of consistent focus on the few key activities that create momentum and move your business forward. Those few key things, and I guarantee you, for every single person and for you as well, there's just a few things, maybe 3-5 things at the most, that are going to generate growth in your business. And when you focus on those things, you're going to start seeing different results. So, false starts are the plague of every beginning and intermediate entrepreneur. And you know the drill. You know how this goes if you've ever struggled with false starts like I have. First, you get excited, right? You get excited about something. You have a new project. You have a new idea, a new, business idea, and you start working on it, right? You start making some progress, and things start to take off. But then something creeps up in your mind. You start second guessing yourself. You start doubting. Maybe you get distracted. You think maybe this other idea is better. And then what happens is you start back at square one. Or if you're in the middle stage of your business, what this looks like is you're focused on the things that you know matter. You're not struggling with, is this idea good? You know what you need to do. And then you start taking action. You make some progress, but then you get distracted, right? There's all these things competing for your attention. You have to wear a lot of hats in your business. And what happens is you guys end up changing directions, and then you end up resetting. So you lose all your progress. And unfortunately, in business, there are no save points. This isn't Mario World, and unlike Super Mario, you don't get to save your game. So constantly resetting means indefinitely starting over, wasting your progress and energy over and over and over. It's as if you get to, level 3 in Mario World and the power goes out and you have to reset and start your game from scratch. And this power going out is what's happening over and over for you. And it's no wonder why most entrepreneurs give up. It's completely demoralizing, working your ass off month after month, but then getting distracted or second guessing yourself and starting all over. You're not seeing the results. You're not seeing the fruits of your effort. And that's not very motivating. It makes people want to give up. It makes people wonder if this is even worth it. And I guarantee if you're passionate about something, it is worth it. You just don't have the right structure and habits in place to help you stay focused. So, the biggest progress killer is switching and inconsistency. And what this costs you is really sapping your energy, right? And when your energy is not fully expressed, your power is diluted. You're unsure of yourself, and because of that, you're just not operating at your full potential. And to make matters worse, to add insult to injury, because you're second guessing and questioning things constantly, you're not really sure about which actions to take. Things are ambiguous, nebulous, and because of that, you're taking weak actions that are unfocused, and that leads to depressing results. When you're not focused, how can you expect your actions to really pay off? So, the problem is you never reach momentum. You never reach that stage where your business is growing on its own. And quite frankly, that sucks. And I'd like to see that end for you. So, first, you must be committed. That is the first step. You must know your purpose. You must be willing to commit and give yourself fully to this business that you believe in. But commitment alone really doesn't mean anything unless you're demonstrating that commitment day after day after day, right? If you think you're committed in your mind, but you're not showing it and expressing that through actions, you're not really going to believe it in the first place. So you need a practice that demonstrates that commitment. So, what I want to share with you is a practice in my own business that has transformed my results and made me more successful than ever. It's called Morning Momentum, and what this practice is basically something that helps you make a huge win right at the beginning of every single day. It ensures that you only focus on the few key things that grow your business. And most importantly, it gives you focus and consistency so each progress from each day builds upon the last. It's a growth amplification rather than, these peaks and valleys where you're climbing up to the, halfway up the mountain, you're falling back down. You're climbing back up, you're falling back down. You're no longer swimming upstream, you're swimming downstream. And the result of this is a domino effect that creates inevitable success. So, what does this look like? Well, first of all, number one, at the end of the day, you define the one key growth activity for the next day. I recommend doing this at the end of the day because if you're doing it at the beginning of the day, you're going to have this stress and anxiety of trying to tackle everything that you need to do in the day, and you're just going to end up picking something reactively, or at least there's a greater likelihood you're going to pick something reactively. So it's better to define this one key growth activity at the end of the day. And then the second thing you're going to do is the first thing in the morning, you're going to do 1 hour of uninterrupted work on that growth related activity. It must be growth related. Checking your email is not growth related. So that's it. It's simple and dangerously effective. Do not make the mistake of underestimating how powerful this is. I just want you to try it out and find out for yourself. This has completely transformed my business, and I guarantee that it will transform yours as well. But the key here is you do this first thing in the morning before anything else. You don't check email first. You don't go on Facebook. You don't go on Twitter. This is the first thing you do. You don't check your phone, none of that. Do this first, and then you can spend the rest of your day, doing whatever you want. So, the real secret sauce to this practice, though, is being ruthless about what qualifies as a growth activity. So I'm going to give you some examples of things in my business just to illustrate this for you, so you might get some inspiration on what might be a growth activity for you. So one thing I might do is pitch a partner on a converting webinar. I have webinars that I run that I know have a consistent conversion rate that generates sales. So I might spend that hour putting together a pitch for a partner. Another thing I could do is write a guest post that funnels into an autoresponder. So this is a traffic generating activity that's ultimately going to end up generating sales. Another thing I might do is build a sales funnel. So I might have a product that's converting, but I don't have a clear sales funnel for it. So what I might do is create a squeeze page with an opt-in for someone to get something for free that leads to an autoresponder series that maybe leads to a sales video or an automated webinar or something like that. And that is something else that would be a very valuable use of my time. It directly generates growth. Another thing I could do is split test a sales page. to make sure that, I'm not making, these huge assumptions about what people want and what people respond to. If you don't have enough traffic to split test, you do need a good amount of traffic. What you can do is ask 5 people that you think are potential customers to get on Skype with you for 30 minutes for each person and show them your sales page. Don't tell them what it's for. Don't tell them anything. Just show it to them and then ask them some questions about it. Ask them, what do you think this is for? What's confusing to you? Do you have any hesitations? Does anything make you feel skeptical or wary? Do you have any objections to buying this? How much do you think this should cost? Those are all awesome things you can ask people that are going to be highly enlightening. Another thing you can do is create a proposal to speak at an event. So maybe you're trying to do more public speaking. You could pitch an event organizer on a talk that you want to give. So these are examples of growth-related activities. I'm sure you can think of things that relate specifically to your business. If you're a musician, it might be, pitching venues to perform at, a local club. It might be putting together a tour plan. It might be putting together a strategy for reaching out to bigger bands to partner with them, or reaching out to other artists. If you're, a golf teacher, this might be, creating workshops where you do a workshop for free and then you sign people up for private lessons. Whatever your business is, you can find what are those key activities that directly, powerfully generate growth. So again, you have to be honest with yourself. And just so you know, watching Game of Thrones is not a growth activity. I was a little confused by this in the past, but apparently my wife told me this is not a growth related activity. So in all seriousness, the key here is you have to be honest with yourself. Processing email, responding to customer support inquiries, doing your taxes, all these sort of things that you have to do aren't always growth activities. So you have to prioritize growth over maintenance activities. So also bonus points for anything that is game changing, levels up your status, or anything that really just scares the shit out of you. And the best part is this practice is going to train you to think bigger, deeper, and more creatively than you ever have before. So, if there's anything that you want to do, any barriers or limitations you want to overcome in your business that are going to help you, operate at a higher level, become world class at what you do, you can use this time to push yourself, to push your limitations and break through those. So this practice is a game changer, but you must be bold and insanely dedicated. This does not work if you are not going to be dedicated and committed to following through on this. And in truth, most people are going to watch this and not do this and not follow through, and that's why most businesses fail. But I'm guessing if you've made it this far in this video, you're not most people and you're willing to do what it takes. So, what's next? If you don't like leaving things to chance, I'm going to be telling you about a special program called the 365 Days to Freedom. I'm going to be releasing in a few days to hold your hand and help you make this happen. It will make doing this incredibly simple, so simple it's kind of dumb. Honestly, how simple it is. You're going to be getting missions sent to you every day that are growth related, that are going to help you move forward, and you'll wake up with one of these missions in your inbox. It's going to help you stay accountable. I personally have to have accountability to follow through on something like this. Maybe you do too, and that's completely acceptable. That's completely understandable. So if you are interested in that, stay tuned. I'm going to be telling you more about that soon. I'm going to be making it very accessible. So I believe that you can do this. You have what it takes. Just commit to doing this for 1 year and you're going to see your business transform completely. You're going to see momentum start to happen and your business is going to take on a life of its own and be able to grow without you once you set up these processes and systems. So lastly, if you like this, if you thought this was cool and valuable, I would love for you to share this. You'll make my day. You'll join my Best Friends Forever Club. And I sincerely hope that you put this into practice. And if you like this, share it with someone else you think could benefit from it. Thanks so much for watching this, and take care.